Well, I did not come back to the model table last night. No, I was busy trying to install the latest firmware on the camera. I'm sure that probably most of you know that a lot of these newer devices, they have what's known as firmware. In other words, it's the computer program that tells the device how to operate. And I don't know if you download firmware for your smartphone or not, but I imagine you do. Anyway, that's what I was doing. I eventually got it. Once I finally got the file dropped into the right place, and I figured out what they meant by the root directory. At least I think they called it the root directory. Anyway, I eventually got it. Now, let's just recompose here and see if we can put some of these in. Our stylorez is dry, naturally. And it was actually drying pretty quick yesterday, I noticed. So, to a certain degree, it was drying before I even got it out of the chuck on the electric drill. But a couple of viewers, well, we'll talk about it in a minute here. Let's just recompose a little bit here. Okay. Now, I don't want to be marking up our paint job here. And this is the first time I'm trying this. So I'm hoping it's going to slide in nice and easy here and not scratch the paint off. And if I feel that there's any resistance, what I plan to do is pull it back out and just run a drill bit through that is slightly, I don't know, it's kind of, oh no, I guess we can always touch it up, right? Yeah, it's going pretty good. I'm not having to pull very hard at all. All right, there is a bit of a gap between the propeller and this. Once again, I forget what you call this. It's a type of hanger bearing. I don't think that the thrust was put on the back of this thing. Maybe a little bit, but I think the whole idea was just to stabilize the propeller, and just so that it didn't bend the shaft. But I do believe that they had inside the ship what would be called a thrust block. And the little I've had to do with larger vessels, that's what did the pushing. Probably there was more than one. Okay, that doesn't look half bad, does it? Let's just stick another one on. I know sometimes I come across as being just a complete klutz. It's because the camera's in my way. Maybe if I was to take and... This is actually going better than I thought it would. Okay, now, if you remember, I was saying that some of the blades were... Okay, now here's a little mark on the cone of the propeller. So we wouldn't want that to the outside. We'd want it on the inside. And if there's anything glaring on this one, we'll stick, right there on that blade. You can see it's kind of marked a little bit. At least you should be able to. And we'll maybe have that to the inside. Anyway, that's the idea. Oh, you know what? Oh my goodness. I forgot to check about the rotation, and that's very important. Okay, obviously I've got these wrong because this one would rotate one way, and the other one would have to rotate the other way to drive the ship forward. Uh, yeah, I forgot to check that out. I was so excited about getting the shafts in. Well, okay, let's just check that out, and I think we'll take a look at Stephen Drembinski's drawing and see how he did it. If I remember right, it's quite clear in his CGI drawing. Let's go take a look at that. That was stupid. Okay, this screen capture program will only run for about 3 minutes, but I think that's probably going to be enough time here. And the model ship project. And if we go into HMS Hood, now we're going to go up here to Stefan Drembinski's CGI drawing. Okay, now I'm impressed with this every time I see it. Now it seems to me that it's right near the end. Let's just grab our little thingamajiggy here and get near the end. Okay, yeah, it's going to be, we're going to see it ends at the stern of the ship. But this is quite impressive, isn't it? This is something that somebody drew. Of course, he did it in a computer so that everything gets knit together. And it's an amazing technology. It's amazing that it works at all. Okay, get ready to pause it. Okay. All right, right there. Well, the two on the right-hand side here, these ones there, it does appear that the blades turn this way. Okay, that's the way it looks to me. So in other words, the top of the blade turns out. Now, these ones over here on the other side, that's not clear. The angle's not clear. Now, I had thought that I had seen photographs of the blades, the ship taken from the back, but it might have been the Bismarck, or it might have been the Titanic. But I thought I'd seen the Hood. But anyway, if you look closely, it does appear that. Let me get my mouse off of there so that we lose that bar across the bottom. Okay, it does appear that the top of the blade turns out away from the hull. So that's the way we'll do it. And if it's wrong, it doesn't matter. So the ship will just have to go backwards everywhere. Okay. So this one is correct. The top is turning out to drive the ship forward. But this one, if we turn it in the same direction, it has to go in, so that's wrong. Now usually Murphy's Law has the most awkward one, that we have to change, which would be the inside one. But that's not what's happening here. Okay, now let's not grab the wrong one here. We want it to turn out. And that's got it turning out, driving the ship forward. I mean, this is not rocket science. So how come I got it wrong? Okay. All right. Now we got it right. And the ones that go on the other side, clearly they're going to have to turn out to drive the ship forward. Okay, so I'll do the other side off camera because I'll be doing it the same way as this side. Now, as long as we got the bubble wrap here and we're looking at it, one of the viewers mentioned that they thought that the little ladder that we're missing, they thought they saw it laying on the bubble wrap. But I came and I checked, and unless it's under this piece of 2x4 here, I think maybe what they saw was maybe some other marking or maybe a staple that's in the bubble wrap to help hold it down, because I'm not seeing it. There is there is something way over here on the other side. Maybe that's what they saw. I don't know. It looked promising though, didn't it? It would have been nice. I will look once I get this block off of here, but that won't be until... Oh, I know what we can do. Where's our rudder? Our rudder's been laying in the tin here for months. I mean, how long ago was it that we painted this thing? Maybe I'll recompose here and get a bit of a better angle. Actually, to be honest with you, I want to get the camera out of the way. Once again, wet my whistle and try and keep my voice from cracking. No, we're going to put the rudder on, right? We've taken off the 1430 and we've put on the 24-200 for those of you who are camera buffs. And, alright, I'm not going to need the pliers. Make myself a little bit of room here. Might have to put these on in a minute. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. And I don't want to handle this any more than I have to because the maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to just zoom in a bit here. We're on 24, we'll move her up to 200. Okay, that should make a difference. Alright, now what I wanted to show you was you should be able to see on the paint job on the rudder here, it's sort of very powdery, and the my greasy fingers will really make a mess of that. Now, I have had this in before, but not when the ship was, I don't think we had it in when it was right side up, did we? So it goes into a hole underneath there, and then just sort of, I'm pretty sure that the peg is in the hole. Maybe it'll work better if I go at it from this side. Whoop. Doesn't seem to want to go. It did go before. I don't want to be breaking the skeg off. Like this little part that my thumbnail is touching right now. I guess you heard I turned the clock back on this morning. I don't know if I should... Okay, now what I'm doing, you can't see it, but I'm pressing down on the deck so I can put some upward... There we go, there we go. We got it. We got it. Alright, now, I don't think it's important that I have it set at the right angle now, but the way the ship is at the bottom of the ocean at the moment, the rudder is just about like that. In other words, it's turning a little bit to port. Now, it looks like I did scratch some of the paint off there. Even from way back where I am, I can see it. So I'm probably going to want to maybe just take my little brush and some of the hull red and just touch that up. But, okay. Well, we'll readjust everything before we put it in the case, but I do believe the rudder can stay on now. It doesn't need to come off. I just got to touch up that where I scraped the paint off. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to flip turn the ship around and put the shafts in on the other side, and then we'll have a bit of a close look at the shafts. Okay, very carefully here now, Ron. You've done really good at not breaking those off. Okay, have I got a scratch going on here, or is this sawdust on my hull? Sawdust. Okay. Okay, now what I was starting to mention a few minutes ago well, actually in real time, it's about 3-4 hours ago, is that both Trainman Dave and UK Jason mentioned that these shafts would have been stainless steel. Trainman Dave also used another term, a type of steel that I'd never heard of. I had to Google it, and probably never hear of it again. But it's something like stainless steel, I guess. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so I'm thinking that this Stynylrez gray that I used, it does to me kind of look a little bit like maybe stainless steel, if the light was to hit it just right. I think we lucked out there. Yeah, and we got our rudders on. I got a little scratch right there. I don't know if you can see it on the I was going to say on the stainless steel on the shaft, but if I have it turned on the, like this, no one's going to see that. I'm not going to bother trying to fix it. Yeah, I think we're about done for today. Here we got our rudder on. Let's see if I can swing the camera around. Okay, and you can see that I've got some scratches that I've got to fix here on this one as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.